Actually, saying that, not only is my daughter playing Rocket Racing, she is
Oh,
hook, line, and sinker into Fortnite now.
what normal Fortnite?
Normal
Battle
Fortnite,
Royale. They're
yeah,
back online by the look of it.
yeah. So I think my daughter realized she could transfer her Valorant skills and whatnot to Fortnite and is wrecking fools and enjoying it
Yeah,
immensely.
she's playing with bots to start with, don't you? If she's not played at all,
It could
usually.
be. Right, right. Well, that might be it. Okay, what else you got, Neil?
That's a good question. What have I got?
The good one or the bad one?
Well, let's do Aka R. Is that the bad
I
one?
played this.
Did you?
Shite.
I didn't have a fucking clue what was going on most of the time. It's not Jeff
And I
Mentor's
say that it
finest. I'll put it
I
that way.
say that it's shite. Like, obviously, there is a game here with some sort of history. There's obviously people who know it, who love it, who like it, or whatever. And I'm sure there is a game in there somewhere. But God, old games are old, right? I mean,
It's not. Is it an old game?
it's based off an old game, isn't it? It's
Yeah, it's
based off
based
an
off an
old
old game.
Atari game, right? Doesn't matter, you can only so far you can polish it, right?
Uh,
Um,
I don't know. It was so people know Jeff Minter of Tempest 2000 and various llama-based games and camel-based games back in the Commodore era. So lately, it's been a lot more psychedelic visuals and trippy video games he's been making. And this is one of those where there's lots of rainbow colors, mad sounds like rave hit samples and stuff like that, rave music samples and shit, and like orchestral hits and stuff like that, sound wise. And I don't really know what the fuck's going on most of the time. It's like you're this. I don't know what you think. It looks like a deer, kind of psychedelic deer thing in the middle of the screen. You drop bombs, and they like when you drop a bomb, the shape could be a cross or a circle or a square or a diamond or whatever, and it expands. And then these other things, the baddies, like a red dot with some blue dots around them, get exploded by whatever the thing that's expanding. And then when they explode, they start a new explosion that expands. And the idea is you kill all of those without dropping too many bombs, and you get loads of points. Starts off, and it's like this is, I don't know what I'm doing, but it seems like I'm doing okay. Then other things happen, and you have to shoot at them on the same level that you are, and they sort of shoot back at you. Uh, and then sometimes you have to like dive into the map to sort of kill some things because they're going to take you like your men like in Drop Zone or whatever. Did he make Drop Zone as well? Don't know if he did. It's something like that. And yeah, it's just a bit fucking mad, and I don't really know what I'm doing. So very difficult to explain.
yeah, I think the issue I have with it is it's an arcade game at its core, right? And it's that arcade everything's against you. Like all, typically from an arcade game, everything's against you from the start. And the arcade game's purpose is to fucking break you as quickly as possible. I feel like
Well, I
that's
don't know if that. I feel like this gets you like this is like you're playing through a tutorial for quite a while, and then the game starts and it fucks you over. That's what happens. It's like you play through the tutorial and it builds up gradually. And you're like, oh, this isn't too bad, and then you just get fucked once it goes. Okay, now you can play properly, and then that's when you lose.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I've got now. There's something itching me in the back of the head, which is saying you didn't find the proper game in this, but I'm
yeah.
concerned that I did, and I
So
still
yeah,
didn't
it's
like
not
it.
it's not Geometry Wars, but it's like it's that kind of vibe. But Geometry Wars is more fun. I'd
Right.
say a lot more fun. It's because you're kind of it's a lot more simple, and you know exactly what you're supposed to do in Geometry Wars. But this is a bit more complicated, despite looking relatively simple. But I feel like I'm like you say, I'm not sure. I know I'm not doing the right thing, but I'm not quite sure how I'm supposed to do the right thing. It's a bit too
Mm.
confusing for me because there's a lot going on. If you've played, can't remember what else like. Like, he did Attack of the Mutant Camels and stuff like, and they were fucking mad games. I didn't know what the hell was going on in those. I was just a camel that was jumping up and down most of the time, shooting at things.
Right, it's like one of those guys who keeps exhibiting. It's like a surrealist artist, right? Some guy turns, or the guy who puts like the bricks down in the, here's my sculpture, and it's like 4 bricks or whatever like that, and you're like, am I getting it? Maybe I'm just not getting it. I don't
Yeah,
like, and loads of people are
but
like, well, he's
I have
he's a
played some of his
genius.
games that I do like. I know that for sure.
Like what?
Grid Runner was one of the games on the Commodore 64 I played loads of, which was like,
Okay, right, but back there, but the landscape wasn't the same back then,
no.
right?
But there's definitely like Tempest 2000 is a good game, and there's like Resogun. It's a similar kind of thing. They were all like they were of a kind. It's all a lot of shooting stuff and lots of explosions going off and loads of colours and mad
Right, but
music and stuff.
Resogun is fine. I haven't played Resogun, and I'd love to.
Resogun's
I
a,
mean,
a
from
better
what
game
I
than this.
understand, right, Resogun is like something was highly praised, right?
But yeah,
It was almost like a game.
it's kind of cool, but yeah, I'm not very good at it, and I'm not sure I'd know how to get good at it.
Yeah, we don't quite get it.
Yeah. So yeah,
Maybe.
it was free on Amazon Games. If
Oh,
you had
was it?
a yeah, that's how I played it anyway.
I can't remember where I played it. I think I might have played it on. I feel like it wasn't on Game Pass. I
I
can't
don't
remember.
know. Don't know. I didn't update the fucking show title either on Twitch. Oh, I've failed this week.
Oh.
Okay, so we got 2 games left. Who maybe you should do your game.
I'll do my game because I finished. Well, I saw the credits of Alan Wake 2 um, earlier today, and then
Ooh, okay.
so what I will say is, if you get to the credits in Alan Wake 2, don't walk away. Make sure you sit and watch some credits. Um, uh, but yeah, I really thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. There was a couple of moments I was swearing because I was shit, or like getting a bit
Was that?
overwhelmed with the enemies
Oh,
occasionally.
okay, so that was fighting, not puzzling.
Yeah, not puzzling. Uh, but yeah, that's down to me. I was only playing it. I wasn't playing it. You can drop it to story mode, and it's probably a hell of a lot easier. But there's like I like to play. There's a game there that I want to play as much. I really enjoyed the fucking bonkers story. But yeah, I don't want to speak too much about it because it's like it's think like you ain't if you don't know what's coming, it's much better. Yeah, this kind of that. It's like if you was to watch like a surreal. It's all right to talk with someone who's experienced it with you, if you like. It'd be fine if I was speaking to someone who was experiencing it as well, but I wouldn't want to spoil it for anyone else because that's part of the experience for me. Is like the story stuff. Like you don't want to have any of that spoiled and what happens in the game. But it's difficult to talk about all the cool stuff that happens without just massive spoilers. So uh, I'll just say that if you could pick it up for 20 quid on Epic at the moment, it's thoroughly worth it as far as I'm concerned. And the gameplay, the shooting's good. Like like Resident Evil, the shooting got like the remakes. Everything's good. Like the shooting's good, and it's a bit cheesy, like Resident Evil. This may be a bit cheesy at times, but I think it's relatively self-aware
Right.
most of the time, and it knows it's what it is, and it's fucking bonkers most of it.
Mm.
And yeah, there's some extremely cool stuff, and I just think it's quite unique in terms of like the story. And I like I say, I did like the first one. I've been listening to the veteran gamers go through it and the good stuff and the bad stuff of that game. But I think this is a vastly superior game to the first one. Like the game was all right in the first game, but this game, like the third person shooting and all that stuff, you don't fight any combine harvesters in this game. Let's put it that way. It's all like weird monsters. Well, not weird. There's not loads of variety in the monsters, but they are all of a type, and there's humanoid type. So it's like doesn't get silly in that regard, like fighting
Right.
tractors or anything like that. It's like more Resident Evil-y. And it does have lots of jump scares. If you like a horror game or a horror story or a weird fucking Twin Peaks style story that's properly just weird at times. There's just something that happened. Look, there's several things in this, and you're like, this is just fucking weird. But it's cool because it's not like anything like you've experienced in any other game, as far as I'm concerned. Like,
Here's a question for you. And because I'm a tight arse, I don't think I'm going to be buying it. But I'd really like to play it. From what you're saying, I think I'd really like to play it. Do you think there's a possibility that Epic, when the ship is really starting to sink and they're trying to clutch at straws, they're going to offer this as a free game sometime in the next year?
I don't know about that.
We'll see.
That's going to be a long. I don't know because they're locking it out for 20 quid, and it's not been out that long.
Right.
So, but I don't know if they'd go free. But
We'll see.
20 quid.
I'd like to
It's
play
not a
it.
lot
I'd
of
like to
money.
play
It's
it.
not a lot of money.
I'd like
20
to play
quid
it.
for a game of this high quality.
This
Like,
caliber, eh?
it looks like I say, like I've not played a game that looks this good, like any other game that looks this good. And there's some stuff that happens. It's just like nothing else.
I'm seriously considering running an HDMI dedicated HDMI cable from my PC to the main television.
Yeah. I don't know how long they're allowed to be before they fuck up.
I'm all right. That's covered. I think you can do 25 foot.
I was going to say
20 foot,
25 meters is
25
about,
meters? That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, but that's about the maximum.
Are you sure not 25 foot?
10 meters, I'd have thought would be the most.
Yeah, I'm not sure about 25 meters. That's a long way for anything.
I know my headset
we'll need
definitely.
a judge's ruling on that one, please.
My Oculus Rift did not like having an extension cables plugged into it.
I think traditional USB 2 can go 25 foot, and I think USB 3 can only go 16 foot. There you go.
Google says 20 meters for HDMI.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, is that fucking like 4K and all that nonsense? No.
Don't worry, Dave. I'm only running 1080p, Dave. Don't worry. And I don't need to go 20 meters to my television.
Yeah. So yeah,
there's lots of different answers. I've previously heard 25 meters is fine. Some say 20, some say 15. It really depends.
All right.
But yeah.
All right.
Alan Wake 2, pretty unique, very good, and yeah, I can't. Like I say, I'd talk with someone, but I don't want to talk on a podcast about the details because
right.
It's
we need to get on it, don't we?
Yeah, well, you don't have to. But
okay.
You will inevitably encounter, I believe, the things that are cool about the game, and then they're not the same. They won't be the same if you've not played through the game. If to just see the things that are cool on their own, it won't be as cool as it when it happens in the game that you've played through.
Right.
So.
No, I want to. I know it sounds as though I'd like to see those, which actually is a segue into it. Not a segue, but it is relevant actually to the game we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Mario Wonder in a second, but
I don't really care about Alan Wake. No.
I'm curious because Neil has talked about it being such a visual feast and these things going on. And the reason I say that is let me tell you about my Mario Wonder story is that I'm playing that right now. And I have noticed that I will not do a level and leave it unless I have found that magical seed, that wonder seed or whatever it is. Because I do not want to miss whatever it is they're going to throw at me in that level, right?
Is there one on every single level?
There's not one on every single level, as far as I know, but,
But
you
when
know,
they're
it
there,
it
that
certainly
tells you.
shows you where there's a second one or whatever
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
And I had a couple of levels where I was like, "Oh, I missed it. Should I go back or should I just keep going?" Because I'm in a bit of a heads down mode trying
Have you got a
to go
deadline
through
before you've
it.
got to send it back?
I'd like to have it done over, the next week. That's what I'm sort of
But you
so I
don't
said to myself,
have.
I want to
Have you
roll
got like a
credits.
hard limit, like from the
It's supposed to be
library?
back on Saturday, but I'm going to keep it for a little while longer, and just eat the fine because it's
Yeah.
worth it. But there were some levels where I was just like, I've missed it. Okay, I won't go back. And then I'm assuming everybody knows about Super Mario Wonder by this point and its magic seeds that take you into bonkers lands. And then I've gone back and gone, okay, I'll go back and find it. And then I've gone and found it, and it's thrown me into some bonkers land and I'm just like, I'm so glad I didn't miss this because it's just everyone is so inventive. So yeah, it's fucking brilliant. It really is good. Like it's just magical in a way. There's just some little things like I don't know why I really like the talking flowers. I've just really warmed to the talking flowers. At first I was like, I don't know what those guys are about, but actually I really like them. There was the other
Have
thing
you
that I was thinking.
done the piranha one? It's quite early. The piranha plant party or something. I can't remember what it's fucking called.
Is that where they start singing?
Yeah, it's fucking mad.
It's mental. It's just mental. That bit was like right at the start, and I
Yeah,
was like, "Is this what?"
yeah, it's bonkers.
And there's just loads of things. Like it looks fantastic. The bit like one of the first levels where it throws you down a pipe and you go into the back of the level, right? That's really cool. And you think, oh, that's clever. And then you take the Wonder Seed and it does something even more outrageous. Um, little things like when you like the music will be playing and then you pick up the elephant thing and then everything turns into a trumpet. Like that's the thing I like about playing these Nintendo first party titles is just what can you spot? What are the little details? What are the quality of life things that they're doing,
Oh,
which
you
just
know
make
what?
it so amazing,
I'll tell you
right?
what. Talking about Mario Wonder, I forgot I loaded up my Dolphin emulator the other day, and I played, or is it whatever it was, the CMU emulator, and I played some new Super Mario Brothers from the Wii.
Right.
Yeah, and fuck me, that game's shit.
Oh
Really?
yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
so
good.
slow. It's so fucking slow. I couldn't believe, like, because I've
Is
played
that
a
the
load of Wonder.
emulator?
No, 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 no. No, you run. Like when you run really fucking slow. I'm like, in Wonder, when you run, you're fucking moving, like you're traveling, and it's like Sonic almost. You fucking like zoom, 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 bouncing around and fucking like that. But new Super Mario was like, what the hell? It's so fucking much slower than the Wonder.
It could be. I think one of the things that I felt like playing when I've been playing Mario Wonder is that they had to do something, right? They have to somehow mix it up a little bit, and and they do that in this. In fact, they do so much of it that I'm like, holy shit! Like, how much more could they possibly mix it up and make it change and be different and whatever? But everything they throw, I don't think I found fault in anything that they've thrown at me so far.
You just played it
Whether
single player as well.
I was going to say, has
yeah,
anybody played multiplayer? What I
I've
don't
not.
know. I've
no, Pilch said he played a lot of it multiplayer with his daughter, right?
Hmm.
right.
I haven't. I don't want anything to do with that. I don't want my kids anywhere near me.
You haven't got online either, I assume, because there's a whole part of the game that we're completely missing because of that. Unless you've got the online
In what way, do you
membership,
know?
because like it's just like like you have the like the ghosts in Dark Souls like that are running around. You have like the ghosts in the levels of like people
Okay.
running around. If you've got the online membership, you've got like people like in your
Oh,
level.
that's
Not that
funny.
you don't interact with them,
Yeah.
but you can. There's things
There's
called
a chat
standees.
function.
Like you can
Yeah.
plonk things down, and like people plonk these things down where there's like secret platforms and stuff like that. So you like someone you'll notice maybe if I haven't done it obviously because I haven't got Nintendo online, but people are like jumping around in a spot, going like as if to sort of catch your attention, like come here, this sort of thing. because you can't obviously communicate with them verbally
No.
or
Right.
in writing wise. So they'll be like jumping around and doing stuff to and you'll like find a secret or whatever because someone knows a secret and stuff like that. So there's a whole
Is this
part of
where
the
they
game that
jump
we haven't
near
experienced
a
because we haven't got the online stuff. So
yeah? They jump near a hole in the floor. Like,
Yeah.
"Eh, go away, go down here."
yeah,
And, like, you
that kind
jump
of
down, you
stuff
die.
happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's
I'm quite.
also there's all sorts of secret there always has. Well, I don't know. I'm assuming it's always, but like if you jump in a certain place, you'll hit a brick that was invisible and stuff like that, and you'll be able to jump up and fucking go up these places and stuff like that. So, but with this is also, you might need one of the badges, a certain type of
Yeah.
badge, to be able to reach certain points of certain levels.
There was one break time level I did where you have to find 5 little orange flowery
Yeah.
things in the level, and I can only find 4.
Yeah, I had
I
one of
must have
those.
spent an hour on that looking for number 2 or whatever it was. I couldn't. It's just driving me crazy, and I still haven't found it.
What do you need? What's this badges thing?
There's a
The
level.
badges.
They're called break time levels or something like that, and you go in and there's 5 things you have to grab.
Oh,
Like
I haven't
they're
I
almost
haven't got
like
that yet.
they're almost
No, the
like little
badges are like the
orange.
things that affect, like you'll get
Yeah, not to be
the
confused with the
parachute. Yeah.
badges. Yeah,
The parachute
win-
hat, or like you can, if you jump, there'll be. Well, I don't know. There's some like some you don't pick up till later on in the
double
game.
jump
So
or run
Right.
faster on
yeah,
sand
if
or
you crouch,
whatever
then
it
you
may
do a
be.
high jump and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, they're pretty good, the badges.
And there's one that
But I
reveals extra, or has extra bricks, extra platforms in. So in the
can't work
levels,
out though on that level where I have to find these 5 things and I can't find the second
there
one.
was one I was an elephant and I
It
couldn't find it anywhere.
do I have to like am I just missing it or do I have to have something else to find it? And that's what
That's what I
but
was thinking.
and I don't know whether I
Right.
don't know what level that is with Nintendo on that one. I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have to have anything particular to find it, but
You've probably got it. You just haven't used it.
just you not used it, yeah. Anyway, so I played probably the first few days. I was heads down trying to just do everything that I could in all the levels, like every wonder seed or whatever, and then move on. But then I realized time was marching on, so now I'm just heads down trying to get to the end. So I'm probably got rid of 4 of the wiggly worms off the castle, or 5. I'm not far off getting them all off now.
Well, there's only 6, I think.
I think there's 6 on there. I think I've
Yeah.
got 4 off so far. So I'm making progress.
Yeah,
I
it
will
is
get
good.
it. I'd like to roll credits on it.
Yeah, I forgot to mention something about Alan Wake 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got a piece of paper next to me with simultaneous equations on it,
Okay.
because that was a part of the things that I was doing in Alan Wake 2. It's not a big thing, just once.
Were you writing some things down on paper?
There was like, you find these cult stashes, like little boxes. And to open them, you might need a key, or you might have like a combination on a padlock. And there was one that was like, I was doing simultaneous equations to find the right code for the padlock. So, and I did it. I remembered how to do simultaneous equations. It gives you like a
Very
maths
nice.
puzzle, like a word, and you had to turn it into a maths puzzle to get the number. I was like, that was pretty cool. There's loads of cool stuff in that game.
Dave, we got to buy it.
It's only 20 quid.
What about you, Dave? You've got Mario Wonder on your list too, so you've obviously been getting at it.
You guys are way past where I am. I literally played a few levels. And I was just saying, it's. I was gonna say it's changed. It's changed so much from other Mario games that I've played that I'm really interested in seeing where it goes. So yeah, like the even the first couple of levels are like pretty bonkers with some of the things that they give you and you can do. So I think the first one you're an elephant or you turn into an elephant.
Yeah, the elephant's cool.
And yeah, it's just like it.
Have you done crouch walking as the elephant?
Yeah, I love it. It's great. And I was just thinking about that before you even said it. I was thinking about that because it's almost like that's a little quality of life mechanic they've added. Like you used to be able to run, crouch, and you would sort of
go underneath.
Your momentum would carry you, right?
Yeah.
But you couldn't crouch and move. Like you
No.
couldn't just stop dead, crouch, and move, and now you can do that, which I think is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm quite a way through, and I still find that none of it is particularly challenging. There's some things that catch you out. I found a couple of levels where you start and it kills you straight away because you make an assumption that you can jump something, and then they've got a surprise for you on the other side. And then I knew the surprise was coming, so then I didn't jump, and then it does something else and caned me. And I like anybody watching would think that I'm just dying all the time, but it was just funny that at the start of that level they have your number, right? It's just so well done. Just great.
Been a lot of
Music's
good games
great.
this year.
Sound is great. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back to form.
Yeah, it won't last. Be another 5 years before we have another year like this. All the good games came out in 1 year.
Yeah, it's been good. If only we had some way of putting together a
Collating.
list of what we like and what we think may have been the best. Okay, well, if that's Mario Wonder done, and I'm going to have more to talk about next time because hopefully I'll be done. And you guys have both still got it going. Should we call that a show then for now? And then
I think so. We've been at it for 2 hours.
Dave, how are you feeling there, mate? You all right? You feeling those beers?
I've only had
sense
2.
it.
Yeah,
You sound as though
tequila
you're
in
you sound as though you're slurring a little bit.
I know. I don't know what's going on. It's all that Christmas
It's
cake
all
that
that
had
brandy and the
pop.
mince pies.
Yeah.
Okay, well, does Dave? Do you want to do your bit then, and
Yeah. I will say
with your antlers on?
with my antlers on, yeah. My
Please don't
my
do that.
carrot sticking out. Fraser loves it. Thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask us questions or get involved, please contact us either not on Twitter, because we don't really do Twitter anymore. Email us at sealpodcast@gmail.com or join us on a Discord server. A link is pinned on everywhere. Twitch, and I need to really change my thing. Twitch, which is what's our Twitch handle?
Who knows?
Twitch.tv/Seal Podcast.
Twitch.tv. I need to. I've got this. I've had the same notepad entry for my little thing, my little outro for ages. I really need to change it. So, and on Podbean as well, which will get our Discord server. We have YouTube and Twitch channels, which we upload and stream to. Neil, who's been at the chatting?
We've had Sumu, Marcanix, Chill Robots. Lord popped in at the end there, even though he's been out on the lash.
He might have fallen asleep in front of his computer. I think they've been talking about Art of Rally, which we were chatting about earlier as well, being free on Epic.
Our first episode was on May the 4th, 2019. So we have been doing this for over 4 years now. Isn't that amazing?
How?
Isn't that amazing? It's great.
Occasionally, people still listen.
Occasionally. Oops. Okay. Anyone in the Twitch then that we need to say thank you to?
Just
we
did
haven't
that
already. Did you?
Yes.
Sorry, I was reading something else. I was looking at when our first episode was. Okay. All right.
That was
then.
like me when I was like massively like, what the fuck is going on with OBS?
Yeah, sorry. Professional as ever. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Then we'll catch up with you in 2 weeks.
Yep. See you soon.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Later.